An extension for TikTok? There's down, and then there's down. And what the heck is a community-based label? Welcome to the Unlimited Supply Podcast, your daily music business TLDR in your ear, powered by 30 years of been there, done that, and brought to you by No Disc, helping music, technology, and finance companies navigate the music industry. It's December 23rd, 2024. I'm Lars Murray in NYC, and hopefully you are sitting on a beach or on a ski lift, or you've gone home to Smallville or Riverdale or Bedford Falls. It's Monday, where we discuss what happened over the weekend and what's coming up this week. Over the weekend, in our daily TikTok ban or sale update, Digital Music News is reporting that Senators Ed Markey of Massachusetts and Rand Paul of Kentucky, a Democrat and a Republican respectively, sent a letter to President Biden asking him to extend the deadline on the TikTok ban or sale. It's essentially a plea to get TikTok more time. Key pull quotes are, quote, as a practical matter, even if the court rules that the law is constitutional by the January deadline, ByteDance cannot divest TikTok in that limited time. And a forced shutdown would cause, quote, creators and users serious hardship. Okay. That's kind of odd. After all, TikTok has had 6 months to come up with a compliance plan. Creators have had all that time to figure out alternative strategies, and I think most of us agree that even if a shutdown is temporary, an enforced TikTok break would probably be a mentally healthy thing for users. Even stranger, this head-scratcher, in all the Senate, why these two guys? Markey voted for the forced sale or ban bill, and Paul didn't vote on it at all. Frankly, a TikTok interruption or sale would be toughest on boots-on-the-ground digital marketers, as impatient bosses would demand the new metric to replace it as they scrambled to reconfigure their workflows. 27 days, TikToking down. On Friday, we reported Spotify numbers might be starting to trend down. Well, there's down, and then there's down. In our first Finance Friday leftover of the day, Digital Music News' Ashley King reported late on Thursday that SiriusXM shares were down so much year to date, that would be 60%, that Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway had started snapping them up on the theory that they're now finally undervalued. This doesn't mean that SiriusXM is going to come roaring back to market dominance. After all, last week they basically threw in the towel on the dominant technology of the moment, streaming, but it does mean that the company has absorbed enough punishment on Wall Street for now, and there's still some value to be squeezed out of a 20-year-old technology. The stock did get a bit of a Berkshire bounce on Friday, but it's still trading at less than half of what it started the year at. In another Finance Friday leftover, longtime listeners might know that here at Unlimited Supply, we often criticize new school rights holders for talking a big game about catalog development and then just chasing syncs. Well, credit to Harborview Equity Partners, which is actually investing in things like hip-hop biopics to develop its overall catalog value, rather than simply relying on other people's money, which, as we know, moves a lot slower. On Friday, Harborview announced some even more proactive movement on the development side, as it named Lucinda Martinez its Chief Marketing Officer and Deborah Renteria its VP of Brand Content Strategy. Congrats to both, and a shout out to Harborview for being aggressive and not just counting beans. Another new model touted to save the industry from flat streaming numbers is Weverse, Hybe's superfan monetization platform, which has gotten buy-in from Universal Music Group. Over at Billboard, Glenn Peoples delved into the details of where Weverse is headed. It's an essential read. And up in the clouds, where everybody is well fed, on Friday, Spotify clapped back at Drake over his allegations of streaming chicanery. Over at Billboard, Bill Donahue reported that Spotify rebutted Drake's allegations that Spotify had boosted Kendrick Lamar and suppressed Drake streams during their legendary 2024 summer beef. Given that beef generated $15 million in streaming activity on its own and inspired a new unlimited supply denomination, 15 million equals one beef, it seems unlikely that Spotify would have been motivated to suppress Drake's streams. As for the broader allegations that UMG and Spotify collaborated to manipulate Kendrick's numbers, well, there's plenty of precedent for that kind of thing in the industry, but we've said it before and we'll say it again. If they did it for Kendrick, they probably did it for you, Drake. So be sure you have a plan to exit the house before you burn it down. If Weverse can't save the music industry or Drake burns it down, maybe community-based labels can fill the gap. What is a community-based label? Well, it's holiday season, so maybe an It's a Wonderful Life analogy is in order. In Frank Capra movie terms, maybe think of a community-based label as the Bedford Falls Building and Loan, while UMG is more like Potterville. According to Sonia Chien over at Chartmetrics blog, a community-based label sounds an awful lot like a smart grassroots DIY indie, or if you want to be snarky, a hobby label. But I don't want to be snarky. It's Christmas. Chien goes deep on some artists and labels making the model work, mostly by boosting streaming numbers and selling physical products and merch. Hey, anything that supports baby acts in the current environment is a good thing, no matter what you call it. A tip of the hat to Tyson Haller from Shelter Music for sharing the article. Looking at the week ahead, you are on vacation. Enjoy it. Check in with us every day, but Christmas will be here. One slight programming change for this week. Live music is pretty much dead for the holidays, and because, as Neil Young might have said, viral never sleeps, we'll be doing Viral Wednesday on Thursday this week in place of Touring Thursday. Support for the Unlimited Supply podcast is provided by RoyFi. If you need an advance to take your career to the next level, RoyFi has the best rates in the industry, the fairest terms, and no hidden agendas. RoyFi is mission-driven to give artists the independence they need. See if you're eligible for an advance at RoyFi. That's RoyFi.com. And by Hangout.fm. Hangout by Turntable Labs is the new social listening platform where users connect, discover new music, and play over 100 million songs with their friends and family. Hangout is the best place to do a listening party for a new release, so if you want to set one up, check it out at Hangout.fm. If you like what you hear, please hit that follow button wherever you get your podcasts. Drop us a rating and a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and tell a friend or three. Links are in the show notes, but you can also visit unlimitedsupplypod.com to sign up for our newsletter, to tell us what you think about the show, to suggest new feature ideas, to feed us info, to feed us lunch, to call us out on our dubious assertions, and to tell us what we're missing out on. I'm Lars Murray, and remember, in this business, no conflict means no interest.